How's it going, guys? Got a super awesome video for you today. Just got off of a Zoom meeting with Steven Singleton. Seth Dasuki. Aidan Roeder. And Alex Sydor. Without further ado, here it is. Enjoy. All of you, I know that Steven is, Seth, you are. Oh my gosh, Seth, I gotta give you my condolences, man, about Belarus.
I know, dude.
That's so sad.
It's tough. Like I was like super sad because I don't know, I worked for it for so long.
Dude,
but
that 700 deadlift was gonna be there for sure.
Yeah. I realized just like it's just one competition. I'll have a lot more in the future. So
right, but this is last year's
whatever.
Man.
Yeah, but it's Worlds.
Yeah.
I'll have a chance sometime in the future.
Oh.
Yeah, you qualify as junior.
Yeah.
Junior.
Yeah.
So, but like not this year because like Chan is like insane.
Is he still a junior?
He was 23 though, so he can't go to Junior Worlds.
Oh yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Dude, he's gonna I bet he's might win Open. Honestly.
No way.
He's pretty
Against Russ?
No way, dude.
Yeah, not against
No
Russ.
chance.
Not this year, at least. Like he's getting really strong. Not this year.
Yeah. Steven's over here hoping. Steven, you're coached by Norega, right?
Yeah.
Steven's hoping that Russ has an off year so that Norega can steal that first spot, right? He's getting
Well, Chan is
close.
coached by Sean too, so that'll be interesting.
What up, Alex?
Alex.
So, long poop.
You guys hear me?
Yeah.
Alright. Sorry, I was taking a poop.
You in the car? Where are you driving to?
I'm going to the gym right now.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Is Iron Ground open?
Iron Vault? Or what?
Yeah, it's open. Just open today.
What's it like training with Taylor, dude? The environment's got to be so good there.
Yeah, it definitely is good with him there and Oak and just like seeing both sides of the powerlifting, like USAPL and USPA. It's good to see both sides.
Wait, Kevin Oak? He trains there?
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
way. Dang. Yeah, that's loaded.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Cool. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and start the recording then and start us off. So for those joining on YouTube, today I've got a special episode. We've got a group of guys who are not only nuts about powerlifting, but like actually good. We've got Alex Sydor, Team 2 national champ. We've got Seth Dasuki, Team 2 national champ, also anime connoisseur. Aidan Roeder, and then Steven and myself are kind of like the up-and-rising 15, 16-year-old. We're coming up in the USAPL. I just kind of introduced you guys, but if we could go around and like say how you got into lifting and why you're still doing it, like your why, you're in this community. So we can start with Steven and then go around.
So like I think 2 years ago, just because like I think like everybody else just like wanted to get kind of big, like maybe like for girls or whatever. And then I just like saw like you can compete, and then I like did my first meet, and then got a coach, and then like did a couple more meets, and then did nationals, and then like now I'm here.
Sweet, man. So you've already been to nationals then last year? I didn't know that. All right.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Aiden.
All right, so like around freshman year, I was like 110 pounds at the start of freshman year, and I was kind of like teased for being like a small little, like less athletic kid. I was a string bean. I think my wrists were larger than my upper arm, like in diameter. Anyways, so I started lifting then, got into some sports, and got into like the power lifts when I started training for football. I was like, okay, I like lifting, but not really the football part. So I just went right through with that. Then I discovered afterwards, like, oh, you can compete in this. And I was starting to get good at it. So that's when I started taking powerlifting seriously, and that's kind of where everything went from there.
Sweet. Yeah, pretty much the same thing here. I'll just cut you off, Seth. I'll go first. Because Aiden, I did like the exact same thing. Just started training for football, and then I kind of like liked football, powerlifting more than football. So I just dropped out of football, and I've been powerlifting ever since. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I actually started pretty long ago. Both my brothers were like kind of getting to lifting, I guess for the same reason as Steven. And then I just kind of tagged along in the gym sometimes. And this was like 2015. This was like 5 years ago. So they started doing some powerlifting, and I pretty much just joined them. And then once I did my first meet in 2016, I was just hooked onto it, and I've just continued ever since then.
Yeah.
Oh, it's me. Okay. I don't know. Okay. Yeah. So basically, I started my freshman year of high school. I started lifting for girls, basically, the bodybuilding, part of it. And then I started looking into programs, and I looked up to like people like David Lead and stuff like that. And I wanted to see what they were doing, and I kind of got into like the good part of it because he was focusing on strength too, but also for aesthetics. And I was running his programs and stuff like that. And then my doing that till sophomore year, and then my junior year, basically my friend was just like, "Yo, you can compete with 3 lifts, your squat, bench, and deadlift." I was like, "Really?" And he was like, "Yeah, it's called powerlifting." I was like, "That's pretty cool." I was pretty strong at the time, but nowhere near like a national level. And then that's when I basically hopped on like a Candido program and got really strong. And then I finally got my first coach, and then yeah, I just found it because my friend was just like, there's a thing called powerlifting, so why not do it? Because you're pretty strong. And I was just naturally kind of strong because I was always training for strength. I'd always do the big movement. I would always do bench first, and then I would do my accessories, and I would do squat, and then my accessories, then delt, my accessories. So that's how I got to it.
Good old reliable
Candido.
Yeah. You're muted.
Oh yeah.
So you do soccer and powerlifting, right? You kind of mix those in year round.
Yeah, I'm actually playing college soccer. I'm playing for Penn State, so.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I do. Yeah.
And you're trying to get down to like 175 or something, right? I heard on your last video.
Yeah. I have phases of like powerlifting and bodybuilding. Sometimes, like whenever I focus into a phase, I'll go really hard into it. So like the past 6 months was literally the past year was just powerlifting and training for Worlds. And then when you get news that Worlds is canceled with me and Seth, like it's just terrible. Like it's terrible. Like me and Seth definitely know the pain of like not being able to go to Worlds. So yeah.
Yeah, that's super hard. So I was going to save this question for later in the conversation, but we already brought it up. Let's talk about aesthetics and strength, and like how, if you can balance the two, can you be strong and aesthetic? What's the correlation there? Alex, you just kind of hit it on. You said you focused on strength for the past year. Aiden, you have to have focused on hypertrophy too if you gain 80 pounds in like a year. My gosh.
Not a year. I said freshman year.
Okay, so like, what is that? 3 years? Still, man. That's
I'm a freshman in college now. Freshman year of high school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be absolutely crazy weight gain. I don't think most of it would be hypertrophy. I think it'd be more of just added mass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I imagine you also got like taller in that time as well.
Yeah, maybe an inch or two. But anyways, I guess in regards to hypertrophy or aesthetics, I think Alex can start off this question. He's probably the main guy here. Oh, he's frozen.
He's drinking whatever.
Uh-oh.
So, Alex, we just turned the question to you. How do you think you can balance aesthetics and strength? Maybe Seth, you want to pick this one up then?
Sure. I'm probably the least aesthetic guy out of all of us here.
Wait. Okay.
Strength has always been my focus, but I think most of us adopt kind of like a power building, like training methodology where we hit our main lifts and then we do like the accessories after. I don't know, that just has worked in gaining strength even while trying to keep that aesthetic look that I don't have. But yeah.
Your body is beautiful. Let anyone tell you otherwise.
Thank you, Aiden.
My stance on aesthetics is in powerlifting, I kind of purely am driven by the stats of powerlifting. The reason I lift is just purely for the number on the bar. And I do my accessories too. Like I'm not skipping accessories. I'm not one of those powerlifters who's just like purely doing compound lifts. But like when I'm doing like let's say like belt squat, I'm not focusing on like building a sick quad sweep. I'm focusing on like, you know, building my quads for to squat more and sumo deadlift more basically. So yeah, that's kind of my stance on it. But it's nice, you know, being a kind of low body weight for my height, I end up, you know, lifting. So it's a nice bonus, I guess.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
Steven,
I think for most of us, the goal is to get stronger in the lifts, but like as a consequence, we'll just obviously gain muscle from that.
Yeah.
So.
For sure. Yeah, you got like the opposite end of the spectrum. You got like Russ Wolf, who's like after every workout, he pretty much has bodybuilding accessories. And you've got the Mike Tasheer on the other end, who's just SPD, like never does any accessories, and both are very successful. So I mean, I think it's also like highly individualized, you know, how you can handle volume and intensity and stuff. Which kind of brings into the next question. Steven, I'll direct this one at you because you're peaking for a meet right now, I think, right? July 27th or something? So,
Yeah, July 20th.
If you could just give us like a broad overview on how your training is different now than it might have been 2 months ago. What goes into
honestly, it really changed too much. Like I've had singles on lifts except for deads like for like almost 6 months. But like we're just tipping into meat, so everything's like super light right now. I haven't like gone through like a peaking phase yet, so I don't really know how it's gonna work. But yeah.
Yeah, I've noticed. I watched like Sean Noriega had a video on peaking a while ago that he released, and it seems like he's very pro, just like kind of lowering your volume like the week before. I think I'm not sure. He's not my coach, but it seems like he doesn't really use keeper compensation. He kind of goes more of like a just kind of keep your technique and keep everything level until the week of the meet kind of thing.
Yeah.
I know he likes SPD days and stuff too, but okay, we'll go on to the next question. That's nice. It's convenient. It's importance of a coach / need of a coach. So like I've been training for the past year without a coach, and I've been seeing like pretty good progress. But imagine like I was coming up to you guys and asking like, do I need a coach? What would you guys say to that? We can start with whoever wants to go first.
I start?
Yeah, good.
So honestly, I don't think it's that really needed, especially as a beginner. For me, when I started, my first 3 years, I didn't have a coach. I pretty much just followed online programs, and I still made good progress off that. I think the same thing for me, like the reason why I looked for a coach was like either my progress was stalling or I just kept running into injuries. And I think that's where a coach can be helpful to make sure that your program is not just like cookie cutter and actually is like designed and fit for you.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I agree.
I kind of got a coach at the perfect time where it was like I was getting to the part where like just like regular online programs were starting to not work as much as they would for a beginner. and I really didn't know what I was doing programming wise. I tried making a program, and I ended up looking. I'm like, this does not look optimal by any means. So, yeah, I hired my current coach, Kyle Power, and we've been working together for like a year and a half now, or approaching 2 years actually, in a few months. And I'd say if you want to reach a higher level in powerlifting, I'd say it's pretty necessary, honestly, to have an expert to tell you what to do, basically, and guide you along.
I noticed like when you kind of touched on this, when you program for yourself, it's really hard to not like just destroy your body and like go super hard. And it's really good to have a coach who can like, if you use our PE system or whatever, it's good to have someone to kind of like moderate you, make sure you're not killing yourself and, you know, overshooting on singles and stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah. Something he does really well is just stringing along sessions each week and block, so that it's not like too much, you know, but it's just like the right amount. It's, you know, a good amount of stimulus from the work I do.
When I think about coaches, I think usually like top 3 coaches, I would say. Who are your favorite coaches? Sean Orega is really good. And then I hear like, what's his name? Russell's coach. Oh my gosh.
Joey Flex.
Joey Flex. Yeah, Joey Flex. And then there's the strength guys. I know they're really good. And like Taylor Atwood's coached by them. So that's kind of leading into my next question. I was just wanting to talk about current world records. And then do you guys know the story of like the 4-minute mile? How like once it was just more and more kept happening. So I think it's interesting that that exact principle applies to powerlifting like very well, because you see world records are just constantly getting broken and unofficial world records and stuff like that. So I just want to hear your opinion on like the mental side of powerlifting and like if you think like certain numbers are possible. For instance, Thor deadlift, no one thought that 500 was possible 5 years ago. Now it's like 501 was a speed rep for Thor. Even though it's not powerlifting, but so yeah, what do you guys think about that like mental barrier?
Oh, well, speaking of 4-minute mile, there's a little thing. So when we were 74, Seth, and then I did 600, and then so I think I was probably one of the first 74s. Maybe there was one like before me, but I can't really remember.
Yeah.
I might have been the first like 74 to pull 600 as a teen 2, and then like a few weeks later, like I had never even heard of this guy, Seth Dasuki. He comes out of nowhere and he just like I see his video like it was like 5. I think you did the 585 and then you did like 600 the next week or something. And then Ferdinand did it as well too, I'm pretty sure. So that was like a real 4-minute mile type thing where like as soon as I did it, like within the next month, like I think it was 2 or 3 other people. So but yeah, I definitely think that with like any new sport that is, or newer sport, that is a thing you'll see very often, that once someone does it, people will soon follow after. Yeah.
We kind of saw that with like, I feel like we saw that with Alex just recently, with Alex and Seth kind of. Alex, your deadlift just jumped from like 565 to 6 something, like that.
Yeah.
Literally, I looked at YouTube and it was like 10 minutes and like you just hit like 50-pound PR.
Can you hear me right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Can you hear me? Okay. Yeah. Seth's numbers are increasing extremely fast. And I was like, all right, like this Dallas is getting really good. Like it's kind of scary. It's getting a little scary. And then there's nothing to really do about it. Like you tell the coach to do something, or like you want to like say like, oh, this works, that works. It's all about what the coach like what he thinks is best for you, and that's what you kind of have to agree with. Yes, you could add in a few things like add this like rep work, add this like something, because I know Seth does conventional and he really builds off conventional. So I told Sean personally, I think I've done conventional in the past and it worked for me. and he was like, and this is before all those 585, before I even pulled 585 pause. And he was like, yeah, like don't worry about it, like just keep doing what you're doing. And I trusted him. I really did trust him, and that's what you have to do as a client to a coach. You gotta trust your coach. And then I kept trusting him, and it just happened. Like it just like a 585, then 600, then 610. Like it just, if you trust the process, I think it really pays off. And if you put like your mentality to it, it just makes it even better.
Right.
So yeah, that's what I think.
So now we're gonna kind of go back to we were talking about Steven. You got a meet coming up. I also have a meet on like July 18th. So we're kind of in that phase, you know. I want to talk about do the little things really matter. And when I say little things, I mean like sleep, nutrition, water, stress management, things that you typically wouldn't think of when you think powerlifting, but are like vital in your performance. So Steven, like how are you preparing for that? How important is that to you? Like, are you drinking your water, you know, like stuff like that?
Yeah, so pretty much like now that like school's out, it's been out for almost a month. Like I'm just trying to sleep like as much as possible, like at least 10 hours every night, and like making sure my like macros are on check, getting like vitamins and like make sure I'm drinking enough water. I think it's like definitely important, and like I can definitely tell a drop in performance if I'm not like on track of those things. Yeah.
Alex, I'm hoping that your sleep's getting better, man, because you literally are up at like 2 a.m. every stinking night, bro.
Yeah. See, the thing that I realized is like, even going to bed late, like at like 2, 3 a.m., and you still get like 8, 9, 10 hours of sleep, it still throws you off. That's one thing I noticed. It's like, even like for me, like ideally, I need to go to bed by between 10 to 11, and then wake up at like 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. or whatever it is, like 9 a.m. to get like the most ideal like well rested sleep. So like that's what I mean. Like you said, little things matter. Like if you know your body so well, like do the things that work for you so well. Even if you get 8 hours, 9 hours of sleep, but you go to sleep at 3 a.m., it still messes you up. And I have to take account to that because I've been definitely, going to sleep late like that, but still getting 8 hours, it still messes you up. So yeah.
I honestly think that like sleep and nutrition, they're not really little things. They're honestly big things.
Right. Yeah.
Honestly think it's at least like 50%. Like your performance is like 50% your sleep and training, and the other 50% is the actual training. You just can't have good training without like adequate sleep and nutrition. So, I mean, if you want to be a really good powerlifter, you got to get those things on top.
Yeah, it's like
Plus anime.
to expand on
Yes,
that.
anime. Alex is right.
Yeah, that's more like 100%.
What is up with like powerlifting and anime, dude? Literally, like I say, like 50% of powerlifters are into anime. It's crazy.
I don't know. They're kind of like relatable, I guess.
Yeah.
With the pursuit of powerlifting.
Yeah, like the main character of anime is usually, train, get stronger to defeat like the villain. That's like kind of like powerlifting. We train to get stronger.
They need to the anime. That'd be so legit.
Yeah, they have like, I don't know. There's just one bodybuilding anime I know, but it's more of a comedy.
Yeah. Well, I think Aiden was gonna say something, but it looks like he's busy right now. Steven, you got anything to say about? Oh wait, you already touched on it. Okay. Let's see. Well, those are the main topics that I wanted to touch on. But now we've got some Q&A questions. If we have time. I think we're gonna get kicked off pretty soon because we're on Zoom. But so we can come to a closing with just answering some of these Q&As I gathered. Let's see. We'll start with this one. Best way to gain weight and lose fat at the same time, if it's possible. So there's some people, fitness Instagrammers who are like, you can't lose weight. The way you gain muscle is you bulk, maintain, and then cut once you have the muscle. But then there's like people like Greg Doucette who say, no, you only need like a 5-calorie surplus to gain muscle and gain strength. So what's your guys' opinion on that?
Gain muscle and gain. Wait, say it again.
So just wondering if you think you can lose fat, gain muscle at the same time, and how those contradict each other and how they work together.
Yeah, so I think it depends where, like, what stage you are and like lifting. I think if you're, let's say, like you just started lifting, you're in like your new, you're literally like first, like say 3-4 months, you could lose fat and gain muscle. I personally think that. But like once you're in like, year 3, year 4, it's really hard to lose fat plus gain muscle. It's definitely a harder process. I mean, I think everyone knows that.
Yeah.
Would you say that it's easier to gain muscle while not gaining fat than it is to lose fat while gaining muscle? I don't know if that makes sense. Do you understand that?
Say the first one again?
Is it easier to bulk while gaining muscle, or is it easier to cut and not lose muscle? Like, which process would be harder?
Not losing muscle. I heard it's personally what I think is it's harder to build muscle than retain it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Anyone else got anything to add to that, or should we head on to the next one?
I'd say like building muscle and losing fat is really only possible if like you're like a beginner, like Alex said, or if you've like taken a long break from like movements. I'd say it's possible for like us who are like far into our powerlifting career, but I think it's gonna be pretty slow. And at that point, it might not be even worth doing instead of just doing the normal bulk and cut.
Mm-hmm. Right. You see like people who lose like 60 pounds in a month, and it's like, are they really gonna be able to keep that off? And like also like how much muscle do they lose?
Yeah.
Bad process. You gotta take it.
You're definitely losing a lot of strength there.
Yeah, for sure. You gotta take it.
I think
like,
it's
most like people would say that you should lose like a pound. Would you guys say that that's right? A pound a week, or would you go even less than that?
It depends on like your experience, I'd say.
Yeah.
say less than that.
And like how hard you're trying to cut. Like you could just like go in a really big deficit and like cut more than that in a week, but it might not work as well.
My personal experience, like 0.6, I've used 0.6, and I like just a long time out, just 0.6 until I get close to like a meet or something when I need to win. So like I never go more than 0.6 a week.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'd say like bulking and like gaining weight and losing fat is possible to like a certain extent in a certain weight range. Like you can't just do that forever. You know what I mean? But you can do it within like a certain weight range, and you can like 5 to 8 pounds or whatever. And you can do it if you take it very, very slowly, as in like less, like a half a pound a week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or at least like maintain the leanness that you have and gain weight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for
At
sure.
the very least.
So next question's from Mason 100kg. He asks, what is your favorite lift, and how do you maintain motivation when one of your lifts is going poorly?
I'd say this happens a lot to me, where like based on I used to freak out about it, and I don't really anymore, because I kind of know that it's just like during the program that during the block that my coach sets up for me, we have like certain focuses on certain lifts. So when like squat, we're focusing on squat, which I do in the off season a lot, and then deadlift comes out during prep. I know that my deadlift strength is gonna be affected because of how much we're putting a focus on squat. So what I'll do is I'll just really focus on the one lift that is shining well, and just wait for the others to come around when they do.
I don't know if you guys saw my last video. I just hit when I hit a 405 squat for the first time, it was like my deadlift wasn't moving at all. Like I even like took a week off deadlifting. It was just lost total motivation. And then I hit the 300-pound bench, and it was like squat, lost total motivation. So it's interesting. You can kind of like, it's almost not a good idea to just hammer a lift so hard. We're powerlifters. We have to have like all three kind of progressing. So it's, yeah. I think when you're programming, another reason maybe to get a coach is to make sure that your squat volume and your deadlift volume don't interrupt each other, and you're not like messing up your whole training.
My favorite exercise is definitely deadlift. It's just what I'm best at. But I think being
I
like,
would be too if I could deadlift like 700, bro.
I mean, Aiden can too, but Like not losing motivation kind of comes from knowing how you progress in all your lifts. I know for me, I progress fast in deadlifts, like moderately on squats, and bench is just a slow progression. So whenever I take that into account, like, you know, if I bench training is like not going good, I tell myself that, you know, it's gonna progress slowly, just like trust in it and just keep training. The progress will come. There's no need to force it.